What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Inferno here, and I'm checking in once again with yet another tutorial. Yes, so in this tutorial, you're going to learn about how I was able to achieve this artwork I have projected on screen. So without much ado, let's get to work. So I worked with two software for this particular project. Adobe Illustrator for my title design and Adobe Photoshop for the actual design in itself. So that is going to be the workflow. So let's proceed. Okay. So I would open up Adobe Illustrator and then I'd have to create my new document. So I'll go to File, New, and so from the new document window, I'm going to input my values, unit of measurement, inches, and width and height should be 5 inches by 5 inches respectively. So if you are not familiar with my Adobe Illustrator workflow, please visit this particular video and then come back. Okay, all right. So just like that, we have all these things entered and then we go to create. So that is how I was able to create my working area, my artboard over here. But I design outside canvases. So this is what I'm going to create for you guys to see. So I'll come in here and I will first start with the greater. T for the type to click and G1, press escape, or hold alt, left click and drag, hold shift to constrain and release, double click, hold shift R, okay, for capital version of R, press escape, hold alt, left click and drag, hold shift to constrain movement, okay, like so. So I will do same for the rest of the characters. So afterwards, this is a team artwork, so I make sure that the voice or the tone of the team goes through everything inside the artwork. Okay, and the title has to be included in all those things inside the artwork as well. So I gave the title of that greater tone. Okay, so I used the greater tone to kind of change the width and also the positions of the various characters, which I'm going to illustrate for you guys to see. All right, let's move. So I have my R here. I'll first drag over everything. And I'll change the font to Biorhyme. Okay, Biorhyme light. Okay, like so. And from there, the G will be small. So I hold shift, left click and drag from this side downwards, okay, to the right to reduce the size. Do same to the R, because this is what we are creating. Okay. And drag over, left click and drag in, and then left click and drag upwards. So like so. Okay, this is what we are creating. So the G2, something similar, reduce the size and move it like so. Shift, left click and drag upwards like so, okay, to increase. Okay, shift, left click, drag left and right to do vice versa of size. Okay, that's what I'm currently doing. Move this here, hold shift, reduce the size, shift, left click and drag downwards. So I'm going to do same for everything. Shift, okay, for even scaling, okay, shift and then you left click from any point and drag to left or right to increase or reduce the size respectively. So like so. And I'll change the font weight from the font family to bold, to regular, okay, and I'll change that of the A2 to regular, and then I would increase the size just as you can see. So I'm doing same for everything. So you change the font family of this one to regular and reduce the size. So this one, I think you have to change it from regular to bold, yeah, something like that. The same applies to the E, to bold, and there we go. And align them here. Like that. So you move on to the works. So you duplicate one of these, double click, and the font style this time around is Library. So Ultras Library, this one. And then you type works, escape, and like so increase the size. Hold shift and alt, left click and drag to scale, left click and drag to your right to scale evenly. Okay. And vice versa to do vice versa. So left click and drag to your right, okay, to do to your left to reduce the size, okay, with shift and alt press down to your right to increase. So duplicate this, delete first, then let's go with our shapes. See, we have some shapes here. Okay, so let me drag over and move them downwards. This is how I was able to create those shapes. So I first started with the cross here, U, M for these two, and then drag over like so. Control C, Control V, Shift, Control C. First, you right click on it and go to Transform, Reflect, horizontally, and copy. Hold Shift and like so. A, drag over this, reduce the size with the arrow keys. Okay, so you drag over A for the direct select to, then you use arrow keys to move it. V for the move to click outside and reposition it like so. Okay, good. Let's do these lines. P, left click here with the pen tool. Okay, left click first, left click and drag, okay, like so, and release. V for the move to swap the foreground and background colors and increase, think A for the direct select to, and then move this here. Hold Alt left click, hold Alt left click and drag to create a duplicate. Click on this, increase the rift thickness like so. Change the type from uniform to this. Come in here, reverse like so. Increase the size, increase. Okay, there we go. Move this over here. Okay, hold Alt left click and drag. Increase the stroke width for this. P for the pen to left click here. Minus for the subtract point, click to subtract. B for the move to select this. Change it from uniform to this. Click on this. Reverse like so. And move it down here. Select this. P for the pen to click here. Click plus on the keyboard to add a point. And then minus. And then click on this point to subtract it. So just like that. Okay. You move it here. P for the pen to okay, minus and subtract this V A. Move this a bit further. Click on it, move it downwards, and increase the width slightly. Okay, like that. Click and move it downwards, like so. Increase the stroke thickness for this. I click on it and increasing, like so. Click on this, move it here, curve it. Okay, left click and Alt, left click and drag to curve it, like so. And V for the move to click outside and then move this down here, like so. And there we go. So you select all the three, right click on it, transform, reflect, select vertical and copy. With those elements selected, hold shift and use the right arrow key to move them to the right to create a duplicate. Select this, hold Alt, left click and drag here to create a duplicate. Left click here and then flip it. Drag over the cross, hold shift, move it upwards like so. Select this, move it upwards. P for the pen tool, click here to add a point, minus on the keyboard, click here to subtract the point, D for the move tool, just like that. Okay, so you're left with some few things. Left click here, hold Alt, left click and drag, double click, Control A, type 20, escape, click in here, change the font to axis, escape. So Shift Alt, left click and drag to your right to reduce the size. Shift Alt, left click and drag left click and drag to your left to reduce the size, like so. Hold Alt, left click and drag to create a duplicate. Shift to constrain, release, double click, type 25. Control A like this, type 25. Escape, zoom in by holding Alt and space by Control and space by left clicking and dragging to your right. Shift and Alt press down, left click and drag to increase the size, like so. 2025, like that. So you drag over and you move everything downwards, and you have one more thing left. Select this, hold shift, you move it downwards, move it upwards with the arrow key, and then duplicate this. Left click, hold Alt and drag, Control A, type our year of, Control A. Font is Gotham Black. So Gotham Black. Move it up here. Click on this, left click and move it downwards to expand. Hold shift, add this Pathfinder, divide, trim, on group, click, hold shift, click, delete. Click on the hold shift and Alt, left click, and then reduce the size. Shift Alt, left click and drag to reduce the size, like so. Click on this A, click, hold shift, click, move downwards. V for the move to click here, hold shift Alt, like so. Okay, and reduce the size of the year, our year of, then reposition with the arrow keys, like so. So our title is done. Let's move to Photoshop. So we come here in Photoshop, then we are going to create our dimension. So Control N, we're going to create our canvas. So File, New, or Control N to get this, and type pixels. Okay. So our unit of measurements are going to be 4096 by 4096, 4K. Okay, pixels. Okay, all right. So 4096, Control A, Control C, click here, Control A, Control V to paste to get the exact things. Click here, resolution, change it to 300, and color profile this time around is going to be on Adobe RGB. Okay, good. So you click on create, and we have our canvas. So you are first going to create a dummy BG by clicking on the add new layer and then Alt backspace dummy. Okay, good. And then we are going to import our subject. Okay, all right. So we have our subject here. I would import him. Like so. Okay, Control T, right click and flip horizontally to get it like so, and move it somewhere here. Okay, press enter. Convert it to a smart object. So you come in here and you import your title. Okay, all right. So all that you have to do, let me just edit this slightly, drag over this and move them a bit upwards. Okay, and then I will just click on this and move this a bit inwards. Okay, and like that, I'll just, okay, just reduce the size slightly. Okay, click, reduce the size slightly, like so. Okay, so drag over them, Control C, come to Photoshop, and you paste, Control V. Make sure that in this particular window you select smart objects. Okay, it's very, very important. And then you go to OK. So our title is in, and then we are going to have to resize our title and place it in the area that we want it to be in our design. Okay, all right. So I'll just left click and drag, okay, like so, to where I would like it to be in the design. Press enter to register, and then it turns into a smart object because I already choose a smart object. Okay. So I'll click on the image and I'll move it like so. Okay, and then I would create a new layer, and then for the shape to I'll right click and now click here, and I would drag over like so. I changed the curves to 0 here. Okay, good. Move it here, and I change the color to black for the time being, something like so. Now move this here. So we are on the road to achieve this artwork. Okay, very good. So I created a new layer. For the shape to right click on the shape to selected olive ellipse, and left click and drag to create the ellipse for me, and then T for the text to, and then clicked, okay, here, click right on the path. Okay, I click right on the path to add the text element. If you don't click right on it, you might get something different. Okay, all right. So just hold shift and introduce this particular character or these particular characters. Press Ctrl A to select everything, and then change the color to somewhere like a dummy one. Ctrl A, change the color to dummy. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Click anywhere outside in the Ctrl V, okay, to fill up. Okay, so I would click on our inserted element, press Ctrl A, and reduce the font sizes from here, like so. Okay, somewhere around um, 15. Ctrl C, click outside. Okay, to deselect. Ctrl V, Ctrl V to fill the ellipse shape. Okay, with the element. Register action and hide the ellipse. You don't need it. Press okay, like so. This is what we intend to achieve. So select the ellipse together with the newly created layer, Ctrl T, and reduce their size. We are going to need the ellipse later for something. Okay, very good. Go to mark action or register. Like so. Okay, increase the size of the title. Click on the Ctrl T, then increase the size like so. Okay, very good. So select our background, create a new layer, hold shift, Ctrl N. Okay, name it grain or pattern. Okay, change mode to is it overlay, and fill with neutral color 50%. Go to OK. Double click and go to pattern overlay. Select this particular pattern overlay, and I'm going to share it inside the video description. Okay, good. And these are the values. Angle is -138 and size is 400, like so. Okay, like so. Okay, good. Go to OK, just as you can see here. Okay, the same values. Okay, good. Come in here and I would select, I think it was bigger, so Ctrl T and then hold shift and distort the rectangle a little bit, like so, and select this, select our title, move it here, press Ctrl T, right click on it and go to skew and skew it this way. Okay, enter, and then left click and move it downwards. Okay, just as you can see. Okay, select our subject and then move it a bit further to this end, like so. Okay, so just the reposition. Okay, then Ctrl T, increase the size slightly. Okay, like so, and then reposition it. Change the color of this to double click on it and then selected this for the color, and I used this color too for the title here, so I'm going to sample. With the eyedropper too. Come in here, double click, go to color overlay and paste and sample from here, because I didn't copy the color code, I sampled. So I'll go to OK and I have this. Okay, so I added my logos. So I just created a new layer and then I went to the shape tool, selected this and then drag it underneath like so. Okay, hold space and then move it, release space and then increase the size, release like so. Change this from 20 to 0, V for the move to, and then I created a new layer and then inserted my logos. I already have them here, so I just imported them. Okay, Ctrl T and then move them upwards like so. Okay, Alt left click and drag to your right to increase their size and then reposition like so. I hope you are following. Good. So in here, I gave them a different color because I didn't like the black, and that color was this. Okay, so I double clicked on them, okay, like so, and then I went to color overlay and then I chose this. Okay, I wanted all the emphasis to be on the title, the subject, and then the background. Though the logos are important, but I decided to make them faint to also move with the concept. Okay, very good. Sometimes that is how, those are minor details that drive the auto. So I'm going to enable all those things for this, and I'll click on this to, then I did the same thing too for this. Okay, so just double click, color, and change it to this. Okay, so the ellipse is going to be useful now. Okay, like over here. So I'll just enable the ellipse, hold shift selected, Control T, then increase the size together with the shape, and hold Alt, click on it, select this shape, add a mask. Okay, press Control I on the mask to invert it, press Control T on this, select this particular layer, press Control T and reduce the size like so. Okay, like so, and then enter. Okay, just like that. Okay, so everything is based on the concept. Okay, all right. So I gave it this color. Okay, the same color as this. So all that I did was I double clicked on it, clicked here, and then sampled. Okay, like so. Okay, and now I increase the font size a bit, like so. And that was where I kept this logo as well. Control T, the move upwards. Control T, increase the size. Okay, so all that I'm doing is increasing the size of that particular logo. So like so, and that was it. So I double clicked on it and then I changed this color. Okay, so double click, color overlay, click on this color and sample this particular color for our logo. Okay, like so. Good. Okay, okay, and just like that. See, all right. So these are some of the key things that I did. I selected the layer and then I went to adjustment, color balance, Control Alt G. Okay, and then I changed the, from midtones, I changed the cyan to 13 or cyan to 13, and I also worked on something small about the image to make it pop. So I went to filter, camera raw filter, okay, filter, camera raw filter here, and I increased the clarity. Okay, all right, okay. So clarity value was 33 and go to OK. That's how I was able to achieve this. Okay, like so. Okay. So let's say I added more science. If I did, the highlights too as well. Maybe I did, yes. So the highlights, I added more science to the highlight too as well to give me something like this. And yeah, so the rest were just insertions. So with this color, just as you can see, okay, So I just created a new layer, and then T for the text to or the type to, clicked, and then here I typed commissioner, enter, and underneath I typed Emmanuel Asante, that's his name, Control A, then clicked sampled from here and give this alignment or paragraph alignment, clicked in here, reduce the line spacing like so. Okay, reduce the font size like so. Okay, and then select this, increase the font size. Okay, like so. Okay, just like that. Okay, just like that. And I change the width, so one has the bold width and then the other has, okay, so this one I choose regular and like so. Okay, don't forget the kerning 0. Okay, like that. Then I clicked on this, Control J, created a duplicate and then moved it down here and move it right on top of our rectangle layer, and then Control Alt G to clip mask, double click and change this color from what it currently is to this. So you sample from here and then you change the color to something like this. Okay, enter, Control T, and like so. So all that I'm trying to do is to make everything move in accordance to the concept. Okay, all right. So I just reduce the opacity like so, and Control T on the same layer. Then I increase the size further. Okay, as you can see, like that. Okay, very good. And with this too, I did something small to it. So with this layer, I kind of created this 3D effect by fading the top, okay, a bit, and then leaving the down when it comes to color intact. Okay, everything is once again moving in accordance with the concept. Okay, all right. So I clicked on it, and then it has a layer effect on it. So for me to be able to achieve that, I have to group it before I clip that particular effect that I want to affect it directly onto it. Okay, so I just press Ctrl G, and then I would create a new layer, Ctrl Shift N, enter, Ctrl or G, and then M. Okay, and change the color. Okay, from this particular color to white, and then M for the marquee to Shift M to select the elliptical marquee, and then left click and drag like so. Hold Alt backspace to register, and then now Control D. You have this. Okay, that was how I was able to achieve this. So in here, I added some slides, some small things to the edges to also add up to the effect. So I just clicked here. So I created a new layer, enter, and then I cleared mask. Okay, now moved it up. Held Alt click here, Control click inside the time node to get the selection. Okay, and B for the brush to select the hard run brush, 100% opacity, and then reduce the size like so, and apply on the edges. Okay, apply white on the edges of, okay, like so. Okay, like so as well. So white at the edges. Control 0. Control D to deselect. Select this layer. Add a mask. B for the brush to increase the size. Go for soft round brush. Reduce the size of the soft round brush and apply. Like so. Okay. So this was what you see. Looking from here, the artwork has a different feel as compared to this particular side. This is what I did. So I created a new layer. Then in here, so I have this paper texture here. So all that I did was to load it in like so. It is a paper texture. Okay, and when you import it and then you change it blending mode, it is also going to give you a nice effect. Okay, that might also add something, or that might also increase the tone of the particular design that you are working on. Okay, so I just imported it like so. Then okay, increase the size. So increase the size and then position it somewhere like so, and then register. Change the blending mode to multiply and increase the size. Then you see the difference. This is before, this is after. Okay, very good. And then you lock it. So the rest were all just insertions. Okay, like this one for instance, I just typed it. Okay, just typed it. Then okay, the name of the font is Nui Machina. Okay, and these ones as well. Okay, just like that. They are all types. Okay, and then I think I reduce the size of this a bit like so. Okay, good. So this one is okay, this one has this color and the year 2 has this color. So it was I just wanted to be creative over there. Okay, and the new is bigger than the year because the new is the thing that I wanted the emphasis or the focus to be placed on. Okay, so we're in a new year. Okay, so the new should be capitalized or should be bolded, and then the year is, we already know of years, so the year will be small and then everything will be okay. All right, so that was how I was able to achieve this. And let's see, yeah, rightfully so. And I think this was moved upwards a little bit like so. Okay, and size was increased slightly, and the shape size was also reduced, Control T, slightly. Okay, like so. So guys, I think this was how I was able to achieve this artwork. This one too was just tests. Okay, this one too just tests that are typed. Okay, that are typed. Okay, I just type the text. Let me move it upwards like so. Okay, I just typed the text and then it was like this. Okay, I typed it like this. Okay, like this, 2026. Okay, I typed it like this, 2026. Okay, or 2025, and then Control T and then held Shift and then rotated it like so. Okay, and then I positioned it here. Okay, so just very simple. Okay, and when I was through, you know me, I added noise. Okay, so Control Shift N, grain, and blue, overlay, and okay, and filter, noise, and add noise. Okay, just to give me that kind of vintage vibe. Okay, all right. So this color, this is not gray. This is not cream. It is white. Okay, it is white. Okay, just as you can see from here. Okay, it is white. So select the title again and increase the size. Select everything, Control T, and increase the size like so. Yes, so guys, rightfully so. If you're wondering about this, I just spaced. Okay, I just spaced them up like so. Okay, so that was how I was able to achieve it, just as I have in here. Okay, so guys, this was how I was able to achieve this artwork I have on screen. So thank you for enjoying the video, and keep subscribing, keep staying glued to the channel, and have an exciting time. It's your boy Inferno here doing this presentation. See you next time. Peace out.